Welcome back, legends. I hope you're all fantastic. There is a pretty mega beta update for the FM9. We're going to take a look at some of the new features and functions on there. There's scene ignore, there's set lists and songs, there's brand new amp models, there are expanded features for the amp block, including the new speaker page parameters, new reverb types, and a whole bunch of other updates and improvements. I'm going to talk a little bit about the setlist stuff at the end of the video, but I do have an AXFX3 video talking about that already, so you can go and check that one out if you really want to learn a little bit more about how I use sets and songs. Same thing goes for stuff like scene ignore. I will give you some examples though, so let's just dive straight into it. To get started, I'll demonstrate the new mixer block algorithm. Previously in the FM9, if you wanted to run two amp blocks together and seamlessly switch between them, you would need to place those two blocks in parallel. Now you can simply run them in series and just bypass them between different scenes. So on scene 1, I've got the USA lead mid gain, and on scene 2, in amp 2, I've got the band commander on there. So I'll give you a very quick demonstration of that. It will be totally seamless. There will be no pops or clicks. Check it out. Very, very nice indeed. And that just kind of simplifies the overall grid layout if you do want to run two amp blocks like that. The next thing that I'll talk about very quickly is in the reverb block. There are a few new reverb types, and the overall pre-delay section has been lifted from the AXFX3. So you have an expanded pre-delay time, but you can have feedback and mix on there as well. So what I'll do is I'll move over to channel B and I'll let you hear the new echo plate type in there, which uses some of these features. There's also an echo hall and an echo room type, and of course you can adjust the pre-delay, feedback, and mix to whatever you like. Let's go over to scene 3 now, because I'm using the new Diamante Fire amp in here based on a Diamond Del Fuego, like a little 18-20 watt Marshall clone. Really, really nice for edge of breakup stuff. Check it out. I think a lot of people are going to like that amp, especially if you like existing stuff like the AC20 models. It's another great edge of breakup amp to have in there. Let's talk about the new speaker page parameters now. To get started, I've got this vibrato Verb AB amp model in there. I'm using some factory rumble cabs. Shout out to the one and only Alex, aka Yek, for suggesting these. There is a thread that they started talking about why they like these particular cabs. I don't know if I'm using the exact cabs, but the 4x12 rumbles sound fantastic with Fender stuff. Check that one out on the forum, and let's just hear the starting point for this. I'm on the neck pickup. Right in that bluesy zone that I really, really like. So let's go to the speaker tab now, and there are a bunch of options in here which, to my ears anyway, let you kind of put the last little bit of pixie dust on a tone like that. One of the most important parameters in here, and I've talked about this before, is the speaker impedance curve. There are a whole bunch of new speaker impedance curve options in here. For example, you could try something like this 1x12 Dirty Shirley EV12L. The low end response there is really nice. With this particular amp, I actually really like some of the recto curves as well, like the recto straight is pretty cool. This high power Lindsay B one is pretty sweet as well. So there's a whole bunch of new speaker impedance curves to try out and experiment with. You've got the speaker drive algorithm that has been overhauled in here. For this sort of tone, this one is going to make a massive difference. I'll let you hear it on 0, then I'll crank it up to 4. 4 is where I like it with this kind of tone. And, you know, it's just adding this kind of subtle smoothing, and I don't even know how to talk about it. I'm just going to play it, but I do really, really like this. Let's hear it on 0 first. It's just taking some of that spikiness out of the tone with this. I find for these sort of tones, that is really, really desirable. For higher gain stuff, I tend to turn the speaker drive down a little bit. Speaker drive interacts with speaker thump. So I'll start with speaker thump on 0, and then I'll turn it up to about 6, and just have a listen out for the low end response in there. This is one of those ones, again, which is subtle. Again, it's kind of like pixie dust on here, but it does change the feel. And I think a lot of people will enjoy playing around with speaker drive and speaker thump together. Just adding enough nastiness and character in there. Pretty awesome. You've also got a speaker breakup parameter in there. I'll just let you hear the difference between soft, medium, and hard with this tone, and then we'll move on. Because I am a habitual fence sitter, I'm going to roll with medium on that one. So lots of fun stuff on the speaker page. Of course, you've got the speaker compliance controls and the speaker compression in there, and the ability to fine tune like the resonant low frequency and all those kind of parameters in there as well. But I would say speaker drive and speaker thump are probably going to bring you the most joy, and then find the speaker impedance curve, which works best for the type of tones you're going for. I'm going to swap guitars really quickly. I'll let you hear that USA lead mid gain tone with my PRS in drop C, and I'll just let you hear a few different speaker impedance curves on there. We'll start with the 4x12 5153, and then I'll just play around with maybe 2 or 3 others just so you can hear the difference, especially for low distorted palm mute. Next up, Scene Ignore has been added to the FM9 as well. My favorite example is using the pitch block virtual capo. Say, if you wanted to detune your guitar by a semitone and have it apply to all scenes, use the virtual capo, shift -1, hit Scene Ignore. You can see at the moment that on scene 1 and 2, the pitch block is bypassed, but then I'm going to play a little bit, kick it in on scene 1, and it will magically appear on scene 2 as well. Setlist and songs have also been added to the FM9. In FM9 Edit, you can manage your sets and songs up here. I've entered in a bunch of songs and just drag them and drop them into a list right here. I've also got a corresponding FC layout or FM9 layout because I am on the FM9 with all the sections along here, and then just the ability to scroll to the next song up here, and a tempo and tap tuner, perfect for doing a gig. I'll give you a little demo of that on the actual unit with a few ragdoll songs. I do have an in-depth video about this on the Axe-Fx 3. Here's a very quick example of how I've got my FM9 set up on the set list layout. I could select a new song right here, and it is going to default to the very first section. I could play that section and then just move through in order. So you can see for this song, intro, verse, chorus, solo, and outro. I'll let you hear each of those, and you can see how it switches around the scenes on this particular preset. I could also change presets and select different scenes in different presets. I do have a more detailed rundown of the setlist function for the Axe-FX3, so if you want to learn more about this, I would recommend checking out that video. As always, with a big update like this, be sure to back up your unit and read the release notes thoroughly. I will play you all out with one last little morsel. Shout out to my buddy Nicholas. They put up this awesome pair of blocks to kind of imitate the Andy Timmons Halo pedal on the forum. I'll link the thread in the video description, but 2 stereo delays going into one another. There's some modulation tricks happening in there. Sounds pretty epic. Have a great day. Thanks for watching the video, and I'll see you next time.